prevent or prolong skin breakdown and amputation. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they use only custom molds from patient mold inserts, which further ensure a great recovery, or better yet, prevents a wound from happening. They use custom molded shoes, bracing, custom inserts, and extra depth diabetic shoes to prevent wounds or other skin issues from beginning. Call today, 1-800-524-4447. 39 years, 6 locations, 1 family. Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, 1-800-524-4447.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game, birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
We say good morning to you. Welcome. We are live again at American Import Auto Repair, home of the free loaner car program, the #1 auto repair shop in America. So says Federated Auto Parts, live here on this Monday. Hope you had a great weekend. A little cooler here in the mountains of East Tennessee. It's supposed to be. It's October. If you're watching the countdown to Christmas, you would like to know that we are at T-minus 69 days to Christmas. So it's not too far away, but let's get to, I guess, Halloween, Thanksgiving, obviously, then roll right into Christmas. But we are at 69 days to Christmas. This is show number 614. Again, we're live at American Import Auto Repair. We always start our show by dedicating it to the man who hung on the cross. We unashamedly do that. And so the verse today is Proverbs 3, 5, and 6 is, trust in me with all your heart. Lean not unto your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge me, and I will direct your path. Not easy to do. Most of us want to do everything our way, but he says, in all your ways acknowledge me, and I will direct your path. I will lead you. And boy, have I done it my way all these years, and the last 10 or 15 years, I thought, I'm going to let him do it, and it's been a whole lot easier ride. I can tell you that. Done a lot of things not particularly proud of to try to figure out that I thought I could do it. So when I've turned it over to him, it's a whole different ball game. So in all your ways, it says, trust in me with all your heart. Not some of your heart, all your heart. And lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge me, and I will direct your paths. Coming up later today, we've got all kinds of things talking about college football. We've got NASCAR. They had the big one, not once, twice, but 3 times yesterday. 3 huge wrecks, as they call them, the big ones, at Talladega, the Super Speedway, won by Brad Keselowski. We're going to be joined by our buddy Mike Hedrick at the top of the hour. Again, the NASCAR fans reported by phone in Northern Virginia. Also, David Strickland joins us a little bit later on, the soccer coach at Science Hill. They're in the regional tournament tomorrow night, and we'll tell you all about that. Also, Aaron Ferguson joins us coming up here in just a little while at the bottom of the hour. He, of course, former Dobbins-man at All-State and Marshall All-American, talking about the Herd, who's out of the gate in a big-time way, having a heck of a season, and also talking about college football in general. Also, we'll be joined by Steve McCauley, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Their big banquet is tomorrow night, and so Steve will join us coming up here in a little while as well. We will start with Major League Baseball. Los Angeles Dodgers prevailed over the Cubs by a score of 4-1 in Game 2 yesterday or last night at Dodger Stadium. Again, Justin Turner was the hero. Batting line of .370 in 22 games, 87 plate appearances. With that's talking about postseason, a .370 lifetime batter in postseason. Last night he goes deep, puts a hammer on it, a walk-off home run to win it for him. Again, this guy, 416 feet, left the bat at 103 miles per hour. The second playoff walk-off homer in Dodgers history, 29 years to the day after Kirk Gibson hit the first one. And so they win big last night. Not big, but they won 4-1 over the Cubbies. So move back into, of course, the Game 3 will be tomorrow night in Chicago. The bullpen for the Dodgers, very, very good. Through the first two games, starters Clayton Kershaw and Rich Hill have combined for just 10 innings, haven't gone very far in postseason. That means the bullpens had to do their thing, and so they've worked a total of 8 innings out of the pen. Here's what they have so far. They've given up no hits, no runs, 9 strikeouts, no walks, and a hit batsman. So the bullpen has very much done it for the Dodgers so far in games 1 and 2, and so they'll move into Chicago. Cubs last night, they're not getting it done. They are hitting with the runners in scoring position in the postseason. The Cubs are batting a very meager, pitiful 179. You ain't gonna beat anybody when you got runners on base and you're batting 179. Cubs were 0 for 2 with runners in scoring position last night. Could not move them around. So you'd be hard pressed to find a more imposing righty-lefty lineup right now than Chris Bryant and Anthony Rizzo. Their usual productivity has not transferred into the postseason. Coming into Game 2, they're 9 for 49 with 1 homer. And last night they went 0 for 7. So these guys are not getting it done for the Cubbies. And again, Dodgers lead it 2-0. Cubs are, of course, down 2-0 in the best of 7. Teams that have dropped those first 2 and the best of 7 going to lose 84% of the time. Obviously, the Cubs have their backs against the wall, but they're heading back to Wrigley Field for games 3, 4, and if necessary, game 5. Teams down 0-2, but heading home lose the best of 7 series about 80% of the time. So all the stats say it's the Dodgers all the way, and the Cubs are in trouble. So we'll see. But last night it was the Dodgers. Justin Turner, I like him. He's got long hair and a beard. That's Justin Turner with a big-time home run. Again, the second in Dodgers history. Second playoff walk-off homer in Dodgers history. 29 years to the day. The other guy did it. Remember, we've seen that video 1,000 times. Kirk Gibson with that bum leg limping around the bases after hitting the home run. 29 years to the day that happened. Justin Turner did it last night of the 9th inning for the Los Angeles Dodgers. The two highest-scoring offenses in baseball meeting this year. Naturally, the first 2 games have been close. That would be the Astros winning both games 1 and 2 by identical 2-1 scores. Game 2 was a walk-off win in which the runner Jose Altuve would have been out of the plate by a mile had the catcher Gary Sanchez handled the throw. And so, historically, teams that go up 2-0 in the best of 7 have gone on to win the series, as we said, 84% of the time. But the Yankees have blown that out of the water because they were down, they were down 2-0 against the Indians. They rallied from that to beat the 102-win Indians just last week, and a best of 5, not a best of 7. So the stats don't matter for the Yankees, obviously. They'll shift to Yankee Stadium for games 3, 4, and 5. Yankees, regular season at home, they're 51-30. On the road, they're 40-41, so they obviously like playing at Yankee Stadium. So far this postseason, Yanks 3-0 at home and 1-4 on the road. Winning 2 or 3 Yankee Stadium is the bare minimum to get it back to Houston. Realistically, the Yankees probably need a clean sweep at home in games 3, 4, and 5 to even have a shot at winning the division. And, of course, also reminding you, statistically speaking, the Astros have a better record on the road than they do at home. So they play well away from Houston at 53-28. The Yankees at home at 51-30, so obviously something's got to give. So you have coming up tonight the next round of the playoffs for the American League Divisional or Championship Series would go like this. It'll be coming up, and that will be, American League tonight, 8:08. Morton goes for Houston, and CC Sabathia goes for the New York Yankees. 8:08 tonight, first pitch. Tomorrow night, they'll be shifting, as we said, to Wrigley Field. Darvish will go for the Dodgers tomorrow night against Kyle Kendricks. They're traveling today. They'll play tomorrow night. 9:08 first pitch, which is nuts to start that deep in the evening, I would think, at Wrigley Field in Chicago. It's going to be very, very cool there. And so they didn't ask me. It's all about television. So there you go. What else happening in Major League Baseball? Red Sox moving towards picking their new manager, replacing the fired John Farrell. Looks like they're going to interview Astros bench coach Alex Cora on Sunday, and have reached out to the Diamondbacks for permission to interview their bench coach, Ron Gardenhauer. And so that is 2 guys we're going to talk to there. The Detroit Tigers, one of the teams looking for a new manager. Apparently they may settle on Freddie Gonzalez, former Braves and Miami Marlins manager. Freddie Gonzalez is apparently the fave to take over that job. He is friends of the new owner and the general manager. They go all the way back to 1992 and they're both in the Marlins franchise, or Marlins team, I should say, Marlins farm system. So, again, Detroit looking at Freddie Gonzalez, the former Atlanta Brave and Miami Marlins manager. It's not official, but that's who looks like they may be looking at to head up Detroit for 2017. Tom Taylor Sports Show. We're live again. We is on the road, and I want to get this one right here because this is the one you want to take a look at. This is the trick right here, the Super Saver Maintenance Club. This goes 14 months from the date of purchase. You purchase today. It goes through, November 2018. Again, $519 value for only $99. They sell the whiz out of this. And, of course, we told you Christmas coming up. It's a great stocking stuffer. A little early for that, I guess, unless you are just an early bird shopper. But check it out, Super Saver Maintenance Club. This thing is awesome. You have 4 free oil changes to be used over 14 months. Can be shared with multiple vehicles. How about that? Not just one vehicle. If you have more than one in your household, you've got one, the wife's got one, or the husband's got one, or the kid's got one, whoever, grandkid, can be shared with multiple vehicles. And again, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 oil services. 2 of those are tire rotation. That right there will pay for this card. It's a $99 card, good for 14 months. Also, you have a transmission service, discount off of it. Also off of a coolant flush. You have also a free alignment, a $59 alignment, which is free. So that right there almost pays for it as well. This is a no-brainer. It's a Super Saver Maintenance Club card. Again, you share this card with your family or buy one for each vehicle. Coupons, again, are good to be used on multiple vehicles and expires 14 months from the date of purchase. So if you purchase this today, October the 16th, 2017, it will be good to November 16th, 2018. How about that? 14 months. So actually, I'm wrong. That would be December. 14 months would be December 16th, 2018. So a very, very nice thing to pick up and good at any time, but certainly good for going into the holidays. We're 69 days out from Christmas 2017. We'll take a quick break. Come right back. Going to be joined by Aaron Ferguson live from Huntington, West Virginia by phone. We'll talk a little sports, a little college football. What's going on in college football? There is a ton of things happening in college football. We got a whole folder full, so we'll take a look at that coming up here in just a little while. Again, baseball, you've got, as we said, Detroit looking for a new manager. Looks like it's going to be Freddie Gonzalez. Red Sox will be interviewing Ron Gardenhauer, and also, as we told you, Astros bench coach Alex Cora. And also, we told you baseball-wise, tonight you've got the Astros in New York to battle the Yankees. Tomorrow night it'll be the Dodgers at Wrigley Field to battle the Cubbies in Chicago. Quick break. We'll be right back. We're live at American Import and Auto Repair. Again, the #1 auto repair shop in the country. So says Federated Auto Parts. Over 4,000 shops that went by and did a very rigorous and very tough evaluation. And they determined this place right here, American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, Tennessee, is the #1 in the country. That's pretty impressive. Quick break. We'll be right back. It's the Tom Taylor Sports Show, show number 614, brought to you by Grip Energy Drink.
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import and Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. Blue Lizard Australian sunscreen originated in Australia, where sunscreen standards are the strictest in the world. Although our products are now manufactured here in the U.S., we continue to adhere to the most stringent Australian standards to offer the best in broad-spectrum sun protection. Blue Lizard, the brand most recommended by pediatricians and dermatologists. Our smart bottle turns blue in the presence of UV rays, reminding you to cover up. You bring the sun, Blue Lizard brings the magic.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do you do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400, your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole with Bays Mountain Park. There's something for everyone at Bays Mountain Park. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or simply looking to get away and relax, Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport, Tennessee is the perfect destination. For only $4 per vehicle, enjoy 3,500 acres of breathtaking scenery, featuring 40 miles of hiking trails, wildlife habitats, one of the Southeast's premier planetariums, and much, much more. For more information, please visit www.baysmountain.com or call us at 423-229-9447. Bays Mountain Park, one of the Tri-City's best places for learning, leisure, and recreation.
I'm Tom Taylor, and you are
Dave Angie.
And we got coming up, it's a really cool, every Thursday, it's the Champion Chevrolet 5-Star Football Preview Show. Get you ready for high school and college football every week. Every Thursday, you're going to be covering what for us?
Be looking at the Big East Conference.
Ooh, that would be Dobbinsville, Science Hill, all those great football teams in that conference. Doug Fritz will be giving you the rest of the high school football picture every week. Then we got colleges covered. Who are we going to be covering?
We got ETSU. We have Tennessee. We have Virginia Tech.
All those. Carmichael's will be along to give us the big 5 games every week because it is a 5-star football preview show. So hope you'll join us every Thursday right here in the showroom at Champion Chevrolet. Dave and I will be co-hosting the Champion Chevrolet 5-star football preview. And then on top of all that, we're going to have a picking panel where you're going to match us against you and you against us, and I can't wait because they don't have a chance. You're going to go up against us. We're going to pick against you for some really cool prizes, and they don't have a chance, do they?
No chance at all. It's going to be fun times.
Oh, yeah. Putting toe to what?
Toe to the leather, man.
Toe to the leather,
Ready
man.
to go.
Ready to go. Can't wait. Again, join us every Thursday right here. It's a Maiden Voyage Cool Show, co-hosted by Dave Angie and myself. It's the Champion Chevrolet 5-Star Football Preview coming up every Thursday right here from Champion Chevrolet on the Bristol Motor Mile in Johnson City. Can't wait to see you on the show. 6 o'clock is going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait. So we'll talk more about that between now and then, but we're excited about bringing it to you again from Champion Chevrolet inside the studio, inside the showroom at Champion Chevrolet. NFL football winners yesterday: Miami, Houston, New England, Minnesota, the Bears, Washington, the Saints, the Rams, Arizona, the Chargers, the Steelers, and the Giants all win. Open dates: Buffalo, Dallas, Seattle, and the Cincinnati Bengals. Tonight, Monday Night Football, the Colts in Nashville to battle the Titans. And that's your NFL segment. That's all you're going to get from me. When them boys can't kneel, or when they can't stand, they kneel. They don't need me to promote their product. They're on their own. I don't think they're going to go away and be all tore up anyway, but that's okay. It's just one of those little things that, speaking of, this is one of the reasons why. Lawyers for former San Francisco 49er quarterback Colin Kaepernick says he has filed a grievance against the National Football League, alleging that he remains unsigned as a result of collusion by the owners, which means they're all banding together and not signing this guy. So Kaepernick opted out of his contract with the 49ers at the end of last season, remains a free agent despite a rash of injuries and poor play at the quarterback position. So he says he should be signed by somebody. But you know what? That is the owner's discretion. If they don't want to, they don't have to. You know, it's their team. If they don't think he's the guy that can fit the bill for them, then, you know, that's their prerogative. I'll use this place as an example. If this guy rolls in here who, you know, has some baggage with him or lady and applies for this job, you know, and it's not the one Tim Kim wants, or him or her for this job, that's their privilege, plain and simple. So Colin Kaepernick says, well, gosh, I'm not playing because everybody's kind of teamed up on me. You know, it's like a little boy in the sandbox. You know what? You brought this on yourself, and if these teams don't think you're the guy that can fill the bill, I don't care about rash of injuries, don't care about poor play at the quarterback position. If they don't think you're the guy that can fill the bill for them, they're not going to sign you, and I don't blame them. But he wants to get on them because of political pressure, and so I guess, or whatever pressure you want to call it. But anyway, Kaepernick filing a grievance against the NFL alleging he remains unsigned as a result of collusion by owners. It comes down to talent. The guy, if they don't want the guy for whatever reason, whether they think he's going to be a clubhouse cancer, a locker room cancer, or he's not as good as he thinks, or he's just not good at all, it's totally up to each individual team who they need to get to put the best players on the field to help them achieve the goals they want, which is to win a Super Bowl. And if this guy doesn't fill the bill, sorry, that's the way it rolls. But he says they're teaming up on him, and he's filed a grievance, so, you know, it just doesn't go away. And, you know, anyway, National Hockey League. Let's take a look again. National Hockey League, here's the Predators' schedule for this week. They skate tomorrow night in Nashville against Colorado, skating at Philadelphia on Thursday, and in New York against the Rangers on Saturday. So that's the National Hockey League schedule for the Nashville Predators. They lost over the weekend in overtime to the Blackhawks in Chicago. So they right now are sitting at 2-1 of the season. Again, skating at home against the Avalanche tomorrow night, at Philadelphia on Thursday, and in New York against the Rangers on Saturday. So 3 on the ice this weekend for the Preds. One of those being, as we said, Nashville tomorrow night against the Colorado Avalanche. We'll take another quick break. We're going to line up with our buddy. He's ready to roll. Aaron Ferguson's going to join us. He'll join us next. We'll talk college football. Former Dobbins Minute and All-State player, Marshall All-American. We will have him on next year on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do you do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here at the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400. Your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game, birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, there he is on the phone, our buddy Aaron Ferguson. Dobbins been an All-State and Marshall All-American with us live, of course, originally from Kingsport, Tennessee. He's with us on the phone from Huntington, West Virginia. Good morning, my friend. How are you?
Good morning. Doing very well. Just busy here with work, but I wanted to take some time out and talk to you.
Yeah, talk a little sports. On the screen, I'm proud to be wearing my Marshall University football cap. We are Marshall. Go Herd. Big win for the Herd on Saturday. What was it, 35-3 over Old Dominion? And so the Mountaineers, well, they win, but the Herd gets a big W, 35-3. Tell me about it.
Well, it was a dominant performance by our defense. You know, our defense has given up the fewest number of points in the conference. They're playing at a real high level. We've got some really talented players on that team, and combine that with the great coaching that Chuck Heater is providing them is kind of showing a good recipe for success. You know, our offense is powerful. Our defense is really, really strong. And as long as they keep playing like this and keep playing at a high level and don't get complacent, I think they've got a real good shot at winning the conference.
They come our way this Saturday. They'll be down in Murfreesboro, Tennessee at Middle Tennessee State. Marshall on top of the East in Conference USA. They're 2-0, 5-1 overall. And in fact, they got some votes in the AP Top 25 this week, which is pretty impressive for the Thundering Herd. It's been a while since we've been in the Top 25 or even considered. Is that right?
It has been a while. You know, we were considered a few years ago, and we kind of stubbed our toe at the end of the season against Western Kentucky. Cost ourselves not only a conference championship, but, you know, votes in the top 25. But, you know, hopefully we can keep this chip on our shoulder. We had a really bad season last year, and what we don't want to do is think that we're better than what we are and keep playing at this high level. I think everything's going to take care of itself.
We're talking to Aaron Ferguson. You see on the screen, love talking to this guy from Kingsport, Tennessee. Love his family. Of course, his daddy's a very prominent attorney here in the Tri-Cities, our buddy Shelburne Ferguson. So love the whole kit and caboodle, a great bunch of folks. Aaron, new top 25. 4 out of the top 10 lost last week, so you have a new top 10. Alabama, Penn State, Georgia, TCU, and Wisconsin, the top 5. Then comes Ohio State, Clemson, Miami, Oklahoma, then Oklahoma State. You okay with all those? Any changes? You okay with that top 10 right now?
I'm pretty good with that top 10. The biggest thing I see is in the top 5 especially, the one thing all those teams have in common is they have a tremendous running game. You know, I watched Georgia play a couple times this year on TV. Of course, Alabama has a strong running game. You've got Saquon from Penn State, who is such a talented kid and probably the front runner for the Heisman. You know, all those teams are at the top because they have a tremendous running game. When you have a great running game, you shorten the ball game and you keep the other team off the field a lot. And, you know, you combine that with good defense and, you know, solid special teams, and that's the recipe for success.
Does anybody have anything for Alabama? Here's the next 3 games. You got Tennessee this week, then they got LSU, then they go to Mississippi State. Does anybody have anything for the Crimson Tide this year?
Well, so far what Tennessee's shown this year has not been very good, so I cannot imagine this week's game being a competitive match. But you'd never know in the SEC. These guys are, you know, they have players that want to go to the best conference in the country, and so you never know from week in to week out who can beat you, and anybody can beat you at any given week. You know, Tennessee right now is just not scoring any points, and, you know, you can't leave your defense on the field as much as they are and then expect them to, you know, perform at a high level for ball, you know, game in and game out, and they've got to start producing some points. They're just not doing very well, and they don't look they don't look like they don't look like they have an idea of what they're going to do in the ball game. There's no real game plan, it appears, and they're just kind of, I don't know, looking at each other like, what are we? Are we a running team? Are we a passing team? What is our identity?
You get the ball down to the 5 or 6 yard line, had a pass interference, you got it half the distance, you got it down to the 2 yard line, you got 22 seconds, and you can't punch it in. They did 3 passing plays, and there's the guy back there, Big John, couldn't get it in. They didn't give him the football. So,
well, that just tells me they don't have any confidence in their offensive line.
Exactly.
If you don't have any confidence in your offensive line, if those guys can't get 2 yards for you in basically 4 plays, then you've got to reevaluate the talent you have on your team. And I know they've got talent on their team because they've got one of the kids from our high school who redshirted this year, Riley Locklear, who is going to be able to help out that offensive line once he gets a chance to perform. But, as of right now, they're not showing me very much.
Amen, brother. In fact, they've not scored a touchdown since September the 23rd against UMass, and so they got beat again. And, Butch keeps talking about situational football. So, they're heading down to Tuscaloosa this weekend. Could be a long trip, but you never know. They may get down and play lights out. We'll see. You're talking about Penn State. Check out their next 3 games. They've got Michigan this weekend. Then they got an open day. Then they go to Ohio State. Then they go to Michigan State. Pretty tough threesome for Penn State. Ohio State, checking them out. They've got Penn State at Iowa, then Michigan State, their next 3. And then Clemson, the defending champions who laid an egg Friday night up at Syracuse. They've got Georgia Tech at North Carolina State and then Florida State. So, the big boys up top, they've got some tough games coming ahead. There's no question about that.
No doubt about it. One thing about Clemson, Clemson lost their quarterback, and it just shows you how important that one guy is to a program. They just did not look the same after he went out of the ball game. And, I don't know if he's gone for the season or what his situation is, but it just kind of shows you what if you don't have a backup that's a good quality guy that can produce points, it really does change the ball game for a program.
Again, West Virginia, the other team up in the Mountaineer State. Of course, Aaron and I bleed green, obviously, but the Mountaineers got a big win. They're 23rd in the country. They beat Texas Tech at home in a big comeback win. So they hit the Baylor this weekend.
They did. They played really well.
Yes, they did.
They played really well in the second half. And the thing about them is they're never out of the ball game with the type of offense they have, as powerful as they are. But their defense really stepped up and made some good adjustments at halftime. And in the beginning of the ball game, there was very little defense being played on both sides of the ball. And so Coach Gibson kind of made some good halftime adjustments and really produced a good second half game plan to give his offense the ball, especially at the end of the ball game. That's what they needed. They went for 2, went for the touchdown instead of going for a field goal to tie the ball game, and that put them up by 4 late in the ball game. So that was a smart move and, a gutsy play, but obviously gutsy plays kind of make you into a hero or make you into a goat. And so this time it turned him into the hero.
I'm going to put you on the spot. You're the athletic director, John Curry. You're the new guy coming in from Kansas State, the new AD at Tennessee. What do you do right now? This team is, as I told you off air, they've scored 29 points in conference play. They're 0-3. They've scored 29 points. Out of conference, they're 3-3 overall. They've scored only 130 points all season. It's the lowest of any team in either way, conference overall in the Southeastern Conference, which means offensively they're pitiful. If you're John Curry, you let him ride out the stream, ride it out, I should say, ride out the horse and get a new horse at the end of the year. Do you change down the middle of the stream? What do you do if you're the athletic director of Tennessee?
I think you're going to make a change. There's going to be a change made no matter what it might be. And no matter when you make it, you're going to make it. The thing about, when you were talking about earlier about situational football and how is it that Tennessee cannot dictate the situations? If they can't dictate these situations into their own benefit and into their favor, then there's a coaching issue or a personnel issue with the players. Either they don't have the players, or they don't have the coaches, or they don't have the scheme. It just seems to me if you're not producing any points offensively and your offensive line is struggling, you're not able to score points, you don't have an effective running game, all these things combine into a perfect storm of problems that they really don't seem, there's really no light at the end of the tunnel for them. I don't know if I'd want to be a new head coach coming in or maybe promote somebody from within. If you're going to fire Butch in mid-season, I would hate to be that coach and have to go to Alabama and play and then, finish out the rest of their regular season with the string of teams they have to play. But they're going to make a change. It's just a matter to me if they wait till the end of the season, fire the coaches, the head coach, and then let the chips fall where they may. I would imagine they're going to bring in somebody from outside who is not available now, and somebody from another program or somebody that's not currently coaching. And so that's kind of why I think they're waiting until the end of the season to make this move. Making the move now isn't going to change, the outcome of their season at this point. They're not going to win this week, likely. They're not going to, have a successful end of the year. So I don't know. I think they're waiting to get this one guy. They probably have one person in mind that they want to hire, and they know he's not going to be available until the end of the season.
Have not been there, but Aaron, folks have told me down in Neyland Stadium they watched the team. They said the body language indicates the players. He's lost the clubhouse, he's lost the locker room, and you played. Once you lose the locker room, it's over. Is that right?
That's right. Once you lose the player's ear, they really stop respecting the decisions that you make, and that's a big problem. When you don't have respect, you don't have to like the head coach, but you have to respect him and the decisions that are made. If the players don't have respect for him and put a lot of merit into the words he's talking about, then it's over for that coach. There's no way you can get that back. Not in the short time he's going to have to maybe find some success. But those players, in my opinion, those players do like him. They like the rah-rah thing. I just think it was kind of like a smoke and mirrors type deal. Just because you're the loudest guy in the room doesn't make you the best guy in the room or the most effective speaker in the room. It just makes you the loudest guy.
There you go. That's a great point. Plus, another little caveat to all this is a couple of recruits this weekend decommitted from Tennessee that just kind of adds to the misery. So we'll see how it goes. They have to go to Tuscaloosa this coming Saturday to battle the Crimson Tide. The Marshall Thundering Herd will be at Middle Tennessee State. Aaron and I will be cheering on those folks. Aaron Ferguson, you're awesome, my friend. I'll talk to you again real soon. You do a great job, and thanks for your time, Bubba.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon.
And we are what? We
are Marshall. Go Herd.
We are Marshall. Go Herd. Thank you, my friend.
All right, buddy. Thanks.
Yeah,
bye-bye.
Great job. Again, Aaron Ferguson. Love talking to that guy, and with good reason. He knows what he's talking about. So, again, the Thundering Herd, number one of the division right now. They're 5-1, heading off to Middle Tennessee State this weekend. Let's run down the Southeastern Conference for you. In the East, Georgia, the Daddy Rabbit, they're 4-0. They can play, folks. They're the real deal. In second place, the Kentucky Wildcats at 2-1. South Carolina and Florida next at 3-2. Tennessee at 0-3, and Vanderbilt and Missouri at 0-4. In the West, Alabama at 4-0, number one of the country. Auburn and Texas A&M at 3-1. LSU at 2-1. Then you have Mississippi State at 1-2. Ole Miss at 1-2. And Brett Bielema's in trouble in Arkansas. He's 0-3 right now as the head coach of the Arkansas Razorbacks. Here's your SEC schedule for this coming Saturday. Again, the 21st of October. You, of course, have Tennessee at Alabama. You have Arkansas hosting Auburn, or Auburn and Arkansas, rather. You have Kentucky at Mississippi State. LSU will be at Ole Miss. You have Missouri, non-conference game. Maybe they can get a W in Missouri, who's lost 5 in a row. They're 1-5. Missouri hosting Idaho, the Vandals, coming up in a non-conference game. I'm sure it's homecoming this Saturday in Columbia. Texas A&M with an open date, as is Vanderbilt. So that's the SEC schedule for this coming Saturday. Now let's take a look at the top 25. Chronologically, Thursday night you've got 25th ranked Memphis playing at Houston. Pretty good matchup, 5-1 Memphis, 4-2 Houston. That's on Thursday night. On Saturday, the early games, the 12 o'clock kickoff games, 5th ranked Wisconsin at 6-0, home to Maryland at 3-3. 10th ranked Oklahoma State, the Cowboys at 5-1, will be at Texas, who's 3-3. 3:30 games, Alabama, Tennessee. 8th ranked Miami at 5-0, hosting Syracuse 4-3, coming off the upset of Clemson. So now that game looks a little bigger now since Syracuse knocks off one of the big boys in the ACC and the defending national champions, obviously. 14th ranked Hokies of Virginia Tech at 5-1 after being off last week, back home against North Carolina at 1-16 at Lane Stadium in Blacksburg, and a 3:30 kickoff. Michigan State 5-1. Again, they are 18th ranked in the country. The Spartans will be hosting Indiana at 3-3, coming up in Lansing on Saturday at 3:30. More 3:30 kickoffs. 20th ranked Central Florida at 5-0. They'll be at Navy 5-1. 9th ranked Oklahoma Boomer Sooner will be at Kansas State. Sooners 5-1. K-State at 3-3. Night games involving top 25 teams. 16th ranked South Florida 6-0 will be at Tulane 3-3. 24th ranked LSU at 5-2. In Oxford to battle Ole Miss at 3-3. Here's a couple of the big key matchups. 19th ranked Michigan 5-1 at Penn State, number 2 in the country at 6-0. 7:30 kickoff on Saturday. At 11th ranked Southern Cal 6-1 will be at Notre Dame. 13th ranked Fighting Irish at 5-1 in South Bend at 7:30 on Saturday. 21st ranked Auburn 5-2 will be at Arkansas 2-4. Kansas will be on the road to take on the Horned Frogs of Texas Christian, 4th in the country at 6-0. 23rd ranked West Virginia night game at Baylor. West Virginia 4-2, Baylor at 0-6. 8 o'clock kickoff from Texas. And also top 25, 15th ranked Washington State at 6-1, hosting the Buffaloes of Colorado at 4-3, and the late game at 10:45 on Saturday. Nebraska not wasting any time. They've hired Bill Moose away from Washington State to be its new athletic director. Wasted very little time replacing Sean Eichhorst, who got fired back in September. Moose, 66, spent the last 7 years as the athletic director of Washington State, his alma mater. Before that, he was Oregon's athletic director from 1995 to 2007. So they wooed him away to get him away from his alma mater to come be the AD at Nebraska. First big decision will be the football program. Mike Riley, a coach who shares Pac-12 ties with Moose. Saturday's loss to Ohio State dropped him to 18-15 overall as the Huskers head coach with a 11-10 record in Big Ten play. So obviously that'll be one of the big questions right out of the chute. What we're going to do with Mike Riley, the head football coach of the Nebraska Cornhuskers. So as you see on the screen, we want to say a big thank you again to Aaron Ferguson. Appreciate him very much. We're live here at Champion Chevrolet on Thursday. We're live here at American Import Auto Repair, home of the free loaner car program, the Super Saver Maintenance Club card. Only $99. Got to check it out. This thing is nice. Again, club card expires 14 months from the date of purchase. It's only $99. If you had all this done to your vehicle, it's a $519 value, only $99. It can be shared with multiple vehicles. Again, you get free oil changes and 2 tire rotations on this card. It can be used in multiple vehicles, as we said, and you have 14 months to use it. You have a free $59 car alignment, so if it's $99 and the alignment itself is $59, you get it for free. And one oil change, you pay for this car, but there's a whole lot more to this. You get a single invoice, $30 off a single invoice that would go over $300. If it does, you get $30 off. You have $15 off a single invoice over $150 if you want that. Also, you have, as we said, 4 oil changes and a couple of tire rotations. All this again with this card, the Super Saver Maintenance Club. If you paid for all this, it's $519. They sell them for $99. We are 69 days away from Christmas. They sell a bunch of these for stocking stuffers, and anytime it's a good time to get a Super Saver Maintenance Club for American Import Auto Repair. Hello, young lady. How are you? Good. I'm doing fantastic. She is, young ladies in here to get either drop off her vehicle or pick one up. Picking? Picking or dropping? Picking? Picking. There you go. All right, we'll take a quick break, come right back. We're going to go to Northern Virginia. We're going to talk a little NASCAR coming up next. Big weekend at Talladega, and we'll tell you all about that after this time out. We're live at American Import Auto Repair, brought to you by Grip Energy Drink.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at FCA.org.
It's Chevy Truck Month, Take 2 at Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City. The savings and selection of over 600 new Chevys to choose from are at an all-time high. 1500 All-Star Crew, $11,000 off. 1715 All-Star Double Cab, $10,000 off. 18 Equinox LT, $5,000 off. 17 Traction Traverse, $5,000 off. Shop us online 24/7 and remember our Saturday parts and service hours. Champion Chevrolet on the Motor Mile in Johnson City, where we leave you asking, how do they do that?
At American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Back on the Tom Bailey Sports Show, there you see him on the phone, our buddy Mike Hedrick, the NASCAR Fans Report from Northern Virginia, and good morning, sir. How are you?
Doing good. Hey, it's sunny and a little bit cooler up here, but it's windy. I can't believe how windy it is out there. I mean, I'm not going to say how windy it is, Toto, but I'm looking out my window, and I think I just saw a witch go by on a bicycle.
There you go. NEM. Dorothy.
Right, yeah. Now there's all these little people all around.
Yes. What was the part that used to flip me out on that movie? Miss Gold say, "I'll get you and your little dog too." Man, I used to cry and snot and snort outside, and I'd cry and hide in behind the couch watching TV. Did The Wizard of Oz scare you growing up? Because it did traumatize some kids.
No, but it's stuck with me now because before you call on the show, in case I'm a little bit nervous, I put my hands in my pocket and I do the Lollipop Kids dance. I'm like, kick my leg over here and over there. You know, I'm doing like the Lollipop Kids dance. That's to get over my nerves.
There you go. Well, he's done this many times. He's not nervous. Our buddy Mike Hedrick. So, what a race yesterday. Recap the big one. Lots of big ones happening at Talladega. Tell me about it.
Well, you know, it was great racing yesterday, but we started the day before. They had the trucks were out there for the Camping World Series. The trucks finished up their final race of their round of 8, going into their round of 6. It was a good race. There were 6 cautions and 17 lead changes between 11 different drivers, but squeaking past on the very last lap overtime wreck, part-time driver and NBC commentator Parker Kligerman gets a victory right there. It's his actual second one in his career. I'm not sure whether he's a better driver or a better commentator, but good for him. He's a great young man. So their playoffs were actually set a little bit earlier in that race when Chase Briscoe, he had some mechanical problems. That sent him to the garage, and the guy behind him, Kaz Growley, got caught up in a wreck. So that pretty much set them guys to go into the playoffs. But you're exactly right. That Alabama 500 race yesterday was amazing from the start to the finish. Started off with everybody's dream, Dale Jr. starting on the pole. The track had actually given him a restored number 2 car, which was his daddy's. So that was just great to see that. Donnie Allison drove that around the track there at the very beginning. Stage 1 was Brad Keselowski all the way. Ryan Blaney got stage 2. They had a little wreck earlier in there that caught up Eric Jones and a few other ones, but the big one really happened with 17 to go, and that took out involved 16 different cars. But the main thing is it involved playoff names like Kevin Harvick and Jimmy Johnson and Kyle Busch and Martin Truex Jr. and Kenseth and Stenhouse, just to name a few. They had a second red flag with 11 to go, and that was involving Logano, Harvick again, Blaney, and Brendan Gaughan. And yet a third red flag with six to go, and that took out Suarez, Chase Elliott, and Chris Buescher. Now, Talladega is known for 25% of all Talladega races are won with a last lap pass. That's exactly what Brad Keselowski did. He got right around Ryan Newman, which evidently was hard for Chase Elliott, wasn't too hard for Brad Keselowski. Gets around Ryan Newman. He gets the win. That's his third this season, fifth at Talladega. Maybe he's the new king at Talladega. 24th of his career that advances him along with Truex over into the next round. And yeah, that was great racing right there. And again, that last lap pass, that's Talladega all the way.
Absolutely. And of course, the other playoff drivers involved in the wreck, again, Kevin Harvick, Truex, Matt Kenseth, Jimmy Johnson. Harvick and Kenseth both able to continue. Johnson, of course, was not. Truex accepted responsibility for the incident. He's already guaranteed a spot in the round of 8, as you said, but he said, I was trying to get to the end and get some track position, try to get towards the front and have a good day, and end up causing a wreck, so I hate it for everybody. So that was kind of nice he came out and said that, because it really did mess up a lot of people's days, including Kyle Busch, among the drivers most affected. He dropped 3 spots in the standings following his 27th place finish. He now sits only 7 points below, or does sit 7 points below the transfer cutoff line as they head off to Kansas, as does Matt Kenseth, as does Ricky Stenhouse Jr. They also sit below the cutoff line. Jimmy Johnson currently holds the final transfer spot with 1 race remaining this weekend in Kansas. We'll talk more about that coming up on Friday. So, again, you had a big wreck in the truck race, obviously, with Parker Kligerman and all the folks there. A big, massive wreck in Turn 1 that gobbled up a bunch of trucks in the Saturday race. And, of course, yesterday, the same. So, as you head off to Kansas, who's hot? Obviously, Keselowski. He has now moved on, as Mike alluded to, along with Truex, to go to the next round. Ryan Blaney wrecked out of the race, but his 18th place finish, which included a stage win, was enough to move him up to 7th place in the playoff standings. Talk about the stage racing. How important is this as we're in the playoffs, obviously, but the stage wins count as well, and that's really helped Ryan Blaney. Tell me about it.
You know what? The stage racing has been great, and it was great that they had it thought out how it would work in the regular part of the season with people getting points that would last them into the playoffs. And it was really great how they even thought it out another step further of saying, you know what, when you're in the playoffs, some of these points are going to follow you all the way until you get to Homestead. So they kept that incentive in there, and you saw it. They kept the whole race ratcheted up all day yesterday. Each stage, people were racing towards the front. That's usually when we have a caution or somebody would get caught up. It was right before a stage ended up. And again, it did away with the guys who thought that they could just hang around the back for the whole 200 and some odd laps and then go towards the front. You really needed to get those points. And so whoever came up with the stage racing for the season, bravo, Mr. NASCAR man, stage inventor guy, because it's worked out and it's kept the racing really interesting. Even the fans who, and most NASCAR fans, I had most NASCAR fans, they hate change. And that's the one thing that they complain about. But even the ones who complain about that, my buddies, they will admit that the stage racing has made the racing a lot more interesting this year.
Well, coming up in Kansas this weekend, you're going to squeeze 10 drivers, going to try and squeeze into this final 6 slots. Truex Jr. and Keselowski have guaranteed into the round of 8. So obviously you can do the math. You've got 10 drivers left. You have only 6 spots left. So it's going to get real dicey this weekend. We'll talk more about that on Friday. Back to the Camping World Truck Series, the leaders there, the top 6 as they had their cutoff race. They now head off again to their next round. Christopher Bale, Johnny Sauter, Matt Crafton, John Hunter Nemechek, Ben Rhodes, and Austin Cindric. And out of that, of course, you got one rookie still going strong, and Austin Cindric. And so those are the guys moving up. Over the weekend, Mike Hedrick, Joe Gibbs announcing that Christopher Bale, the guy leading the Truck Series, will go full-time in the Xfinity Series next season for Joe Gibbs Racing. And so he'll be in the Kyle Busch Motorsports number 4 Toyota, or is, rather than the Truck Series. So he will be moving up. And so that's another one of those young bucks moving up to the Camping Series, going to be full-time next year in the Xfinity Series. So this kid, it's funny because a lot of these drivers, not all of them, a lot of these young pups, if you will, are coming through Kyle Busch Motorsports. He finds these guys and develops them, and then they move on. But that's yet another driver that came through KBM that's moving on. I think that's interesting.
I think you're exactly right. I mean, it's like the farm league, and that's a good thing that Kyle Busch, he's found a nice niche for his team, whether he's driving it or not, because they basically fuel up-and-coming drivers for Joe Gibbs Racing. This is the third big name that's going on, and that we expect big things out of him. And you got to like Christopher Bell. He's leading in the points right now, and he's holding his own. Not just against other young guys, and there's, like you said, there's one rookie in there. But, you got last year's champion Johnny Sauter right behind him, along with Matt Crafton. And you know what? When going into this round of 6, man, they made a mistake by letting old John Hunter Nemechek into that thing, because I think he's a good young driver. He comes from good family. Front row Joe Nemechek, he's get a lot of poles. And he's at the bottom right now. But their whole thing, that whole round of 6 there in the Camping World Series, those are all great drivers, young Ben Rhodes and like you said, rookie Austin Cindric. So that's a good mix right there. You look at the top, you think that those guys are the shoe-ins. But yeah, it's still a good mix right there. There's going to be great racing for those guys. They're going to be heading to their next race is going to be Martinsville here in that whole Camping World Series. That's worth watching, and Kyle Busch Motorsports, they are the team, like we said, that's the breeding ground for up and coming drivers.
Let's take a look at the Cup Series again, heading off to Kansas. Again, in are Truex Jr. and Keselowski. In this order, Kyle Larson, Kevin Harvick 4th, Denny Hamlin 5th, Chase Elliott 6th, Ryan Blaney 7th, Jimmy Johnson 8th, Kyle Busch 9th, Matt Kenseth 10th, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 11th, and Jamie McMurray 12th. Again, we'll squeeze out of these 10 remaining drivers. 6 spots will be up for grabs when they go to Kansas this coming Sunday. And the next round of 8 will be after Kansas this weekend coming up. Then the round of 8 drops into Martinsville, Texas, and Phoenix. So it's getting a little tighter. And obviously, Mike Hedrick, you're around the sport. Pressure is now mounting for sure on these 10 drivers. Got to get in those 6 slots coming up this coming Sundays. The owners, the sponsors, everybody's putting added pressure on the crews and certainly the drivers. They want them into that next round, and understandably so. So it's going to be a very stressful and pressure-packed race this weekend in Kansas, no question about that.
Well, yeah, and just sitting just below the cut line is Kyle Busch out by 7 points, and veteran and champion, both of these champions, and Matt Kenseth is just out by 8 points. I think that you might see the Sharks come up to the top and try to grab up, because just ahead of them, you have Jimmy Johnson ahead of them, but you got a Ryan Blaney and a Chase Elliott, and I think that those are they're young, impressionable kids there, Tom, and you might be able to make an impression on their back bumper and move them right out of their way and teach them a little about NASCAR and being a champion.
There you go. We're on the Mike Hedrick Live in Northern Virginia. Get our NASCAR reporter every week, and so they move on to Kansas. What else you want to tell us about here on this Monday?
Hey, we'll talk a little bit of preview when we get to on Friday about Kansas or whatever. But you want to be one of the first 19,000 fans if you're going to Kansas, because they're going to have a Dale Jr. lapel pin. Hey, Tom, I had to look up a new word. It's chicanes, because evidently Goodyear is actually going to be going down to Charlotte for 2 days and testing a location for chicanes on the track. And so I had to look that up. And basically a chicane, it would be like the bus stop at Watkins Glen. It's a little turn-in area. The word chicane means it's an extra turn to use to slow cars down for safety, kind of like we said, the bus stop there at Watkins Glen. I didn't know what chicanes mean, but 4 drivers are going to be going there this week here. Kurt Busch, Paul Menard, Martin Truex Jr., and Jamie McMurray, because we know they're going to be using the Roval, which is the road course, and the oval of Charlotte Motor Speedway next year for the fall race. So what they're looking for is, they know they're going to come on the infield and do the wiggly part, but when they get out on the outside to go around turn 1, turn 2, somewhere in between turn 2 and turn 3 in that backstretch, they need to put some kind of wiggly thing in there to slow these cars down just a little bit, so when they come around turn 3 and 4, they can get them in there. But yeah, a chicane, I'd never heard of that other than, hey, you guys quit that chicanery. So maybe they were telling us to quit the wiggling around, or quit putting impeding things or something like that. So yeah, a new word. Who knew that we had chicanes in NASCAR, Tom?
Only Mike Hedrick would find it out for us, and that's why we have him on each week, the NASCAR Fans Reporter. I'll talk back with you on Friday in a preview for the weekend. Again, you're right, trucks are down. It'll be the Xfinity Series back up and running in Kansas on Saturday at 3 o'clock, and, of course, the Cup drivers on Sunday at 3 o'clock, both at Kansas Speedway. Out there where Dorothy was, and Toto, and the Wizard of Oz, and what was it, the lollipop dance you did? Is that what you said?
It's the dance of the lollipop kid, with the leg crossing over there. But, hey, everybody have a great day and enjoy the thing. And, hey, God bless everybody real good. Tom, thanks for having me on the show, buddy.
How about them taters?
Screen taters, woohoo!
Screen taters, there you go. Great job, my friend. Mike Hedrick will join us again on Friday, again, live. We'll get him ready for Kansas Speedway. We're here again at American Import and Auto Repair. Quick break. We'll come right back. And we've got coming up a little bit later in the show, we'll hear from David Strickland, the soccer coach of Science Hill. They got a big regional play tomorrow night. We'll run down the volleyball state tournament. That we've got 3 teams involved in AAA Tennessee High, and AA the Sullivan South Lady Rebels, and in Single A the South Green Lady Rebels. So we've got all 3 of those in Murfreesboro this week, participating in the state volleyball tournament. We got regional soccer tomorrow night. We'll tell you all about that. So all that coming up. But next, we'll check in with the owner of this fine establishment. Love coming down here. The only place works on my car is the folks right here at American Import and Auto Repair. Tim Smith, the owner, joins us next here on the Tom Dillard Sports Show, brought to you by Grip Energy Drink.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do you do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here at the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400. Your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game, birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City.
back live again. No, I'm not Tim Smith. Let's get him on camera. We're live here at American Import Auto Repair. He be the owner. He be the daddy rabbit, and he's in the house. Boom, there he is. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning.
Yeah.
How are you, Tom?
Good. Something really cool they've added here before we even get started. I just noticed it, and it's a really cool feature. They got popcorn in here, complimentary popcorn that Misty, does she ever burn the popcorn?
No, she's actually really good at it.
She's popcorn queen.
She is.
Complimentary popcorn. We have this little gizmo that you can charge your phone while you're sitting here waiting on your vehicle to be serviced and fixed.
Whichever phone you have.
Yeah, it's got like 4 or 5 prongs. It'll fit any type of phone, which another added service to charge your phone. You have Wi-Fi here too, don't you?
Free Wi-Fi.
Yeah, this is awesome. So
try to take care.
And there he comes. Look at him in his shorts. Yeah. Obviously, he was reading the Miami, Florida.
How you doing?
On camera, my buddy
Good to see you.
Colleague going to join us coming up here in a few minutes. So, Tim Smith with us. Let's talk about Mark Richt. That's a good way to start this thing. Is this guy not class?
He is class.
He is a class guy. He is? As a coach?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, no, I'm saying is he? I asked you.
Oh, no, I'm talking about, I got a story. The guy gets fired. I'm going to read this. We talked about this Friday. This guy gets fired by Georgia. They run him off. And so they ask him about Georgia, and this is what he says, quote, "It's exciting to see Georgia doing good. I'm happy for Georgia. I'm happy for all the kids I recruited. I'm happy for all the guys I didn't recruit and still came to Georgia. Georgia's a great place. It has a special place in the hearts of myself." I know, but what you're saying is going out. "It has a special place in the hearts of myself and my wife, and I'm all for them having a lot of success." Isn't that nice? This guy got fired.
Yes.
They ran him off for no reason, quite frankly.
And actually, he was doing good for them.
Yeah. And I think to a certain point, because of his stand he takes for the Lord, I think that some of the folks didn't like that. And so, anyway, Mark Richt, having a great year in Miami, still went back and said...
He bounced back and did well. And he beat him.
And said, good luck to Georgia.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beat Georgia Tech over the weekend.
Then he beat him. Yeah.
Tim's with us. So, did you watch the NASCAR? We don't talk about the NFL anymore here. So,
what's that?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Although I will say, I have to say this because I think it's hilarious. Bring this story back out. Colin Kaepernick, the old Colin.
I think he sealed his fate with this.
No, he has filed a grievance against the National Football League, alleging that he remains unsigned as a result of collusion by the owners. He said, despite a rash of injuries and poor play by quarterbacks across the league, he says, nobody's hiring me. You all teamed up against me. I'm going to file a lawsuit. Now, you're the owner of this company right here at American Import, are you not? When people come in for an interview, you're going to hire the best person for the job, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Doesn't matter. So if they can do it, they can do it. If they can't, they can't. So if the owners don't think this guy is the quarterback they want, it is their discretion to say, we're not going to sign him for whatever reason.
It should be, yes.
Yeah. And
it doesn't sound like he wants it that way.
No. Well, no, he doesn't want it. That's what's wrong with our society. It's all about me. What's going to be good for me?
Yeah.
So, but obviously the NFL, not just one, but all the owners have said
32
owners when they have an injury. I mean, Rodgers went down yesterday at Green Bay. Looks like he's out for the year with a broken collarbone. And they're already clamoring to get Colin Kaepernick. The Packers management says, we know what we need here. We don't need outside people telling us what we need. So, anyway, NFL.
I thought we weren't talking about that.
Well, we're not. I just want to get it out. I guess Tim won, Tom nothing. So anyway, NFL could care less. So what do you want to talk about? Talk about college football? Let's talk about NASCAR.
How about that?
Did you watch any of it yesterday, the big crash?
It's just which one?
Well, the big one, Truex is apologizing for. He said, it's my fault. Took out a lot of guys.
Yeah.
And so as a result, we're down to the round of 8 this week at Kansas. You got 2 guys already in. You got Keselowski and Truex. So you got 10 drivers trying to squeeze into 6 slots. It's going to get a little dicey in Kansas this week, I think.
I agree. Yeah. So, just history. Martin Truex, 2-3 years ago. Did you think he was this good a driver?
No.
I mean, he's just pretty amazing now.
And it came out that he has picked up full sponsorship for next year. Bass Pro Shops and 5-Hour Energy. And Auto Insurers of America, I believe, is the third. There's 3 of them.
It's a good insurance company.
Yeah, so 3 guys going full time now, 3 full time sponsors. A lot of the drivers are scrambling to get any kind of sponsorship, but
he deserves it.
Yeah,
he's a good driver.
last week we talked about a full sponsorship of NASCAR. You're talking $10 to $15 million.
Yeah.
That's a chunk of change.
That is.
$10 to $15
yes.
million. So
if you say it really fast, it's not quite as much.
$10 to $15 million. So,
yeah. See?
Yeah. So, but for
that's why you need 3 or 4 different sponsors, because nobody can foot the bill for all of that.
Exactly. So coming up, Coach, here I can do that for you. Coach David Strickland will be coming up again. Also, our buddy Steve McCauley here in a little while from the FCA. His big dinner is tomorrow night at the Holiday Inn in Johnson City.
You know, Dave Strickland does insurance too, right?
I guess
he's an insurance guy.
Yeah.
That's how I know him.
Good. Super Saver Maintenance Club. Let's talk about this, would you please?
Yeah.
Only $99.
$99, $592 value, something like that. It's a bunch.
$519.
Yes.
On the screen.
That's what I said.
Thank you.
And you come here, 3 oil changes, you got it paid for, and all the other stuff is just gravy.
Yeah. Well, the alignment itself, you get a free alignment.
Yeah.
Good for 14 months. You can use this using multiple vehicles. The alignment is $59, so you're almost paid for it right there.
If you're budgeting, this is a great budgeting tool.
Mm-hmm.
So
4 oil changes, 2 tire rotations, used for 14 months. So if you buy it today, it puts you through December of 2018. 14 months. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Using multiple vehicles. A lot of folks usually they got kids in college or multiple vehicles, one for mom, one for dad, and then some come in and buy one for each vehicle, right?
They do, and some out-of-towners buy it for their kids that are here at ETSU or Milligan or anything like that. So they get that quite a bit.
Have it serviced here before they head back home.
And December 25th isn't that far away, is it?
69 days to Christmas. But now, one of the big travel weekends.
That gives you a lot of time to get me something nice.
Oh, I am.
Okay.
Oh, you better believe it. You better believe it. I'm getting Misty something nice, too. Yeah. There's a litter of pot-bellied pigs down in Telford. I think Misty needs one. Bad.
I thought you were going to send her with them.
No.
Oh, okay.
They got a little pig down named Ratchet. I think it'd be great. Ratchet the pot-bellied pig. Misty went up to the race. I got her tickets to go to the race back in August. Stayed 12 laps and came home. So I don't know what that was all about. But
yeah.
She got up there.
Now, was that... Did they kick her out of the race, or did she leave on her own accord?
Last thing I heard her say going to the parking lot, "It's Bristol, baby." She's in her car, so
as security was dragging her out?
Yeah, I'm not sure what it was, but she wasn't there for about 12 laps, and she went home. So, but I got her tickets.
Put that in the memory bank for next year.
I did, my Rolodex. I fulfilled my obligation. Got her. I got her tickets to the race. She thought it was at a dirt track in Georgia. I got her tickets for the speedway.
You know, the truck race up there is awesome.
Yeah.
I mean,
but they were less,
it's the best race there.
They were less than 2 people. She was heading. You know, they had an announced attendance, and it was -2. She was heading to the car. We're supposed to stay all night. I thought we were just here for the 12 laps. Supposed to stay.
It's a 12-lap race.
So there you go. She had to work. Had to come here.
She thought it was a heat race.
It was heat. It was heat, all right. Bless her heart. Are you going to be on the screen today, Misty?
Yes.
Yes, there you go.
She will. Yes.
There you go. $519 value, only $99. The Super Saver Maintenance Club. So that's one of those. Also, you're a Bosch Car Care Center. What does that mean for folks out there?
Well, Bosch is a very good brand. We do quite a bit of their service, and also they have a credit card that is really awesome. Equates out to 6 months, same as cash kind of thing. You can go to our website and get approved for that as well. So we're here to help, and Bosch gives us tests and things like that. So we try to keep update on the newest stuff, and that helps us keep there. So Misty will be doing her hair for the next 20 minutes till you get her on here. So, yeah.
Okay. There you go. Yeah, she can borrow Scott's hairbrush. He's got his in his.
He's got a comb.
Oh, he's always primping. He's Elvis, so that's good. Now, last week testimonial. Got into a car. The little one left the light on inside the car all night, and I guess the battery was in bad shape anyway because that little light put the drain on it. So anyway, down we come. And it's so I called Blaine. Blaine says, "Bring it, test it." He said, "You got some internal things going on with your battery," and so he put in a brand spanking new battery. I think he said a Motorcraft battery. Is that correct?
Might be either Motorcraft or AC Delco.
Yeah, one of the two. I never even looked.
Good batteries.
Don't care. I just said
fix it.
And they're American made, and they're good batteries. And I said fix it. And now it's cranks right up. And thanks again, Another success story of American Import and Auto Repair. So
there you go.
Later this month, we're coming down. Scott's going to give me, before I leave here, a quote on some tires. I get me some tires from my machine. Winter's coming, and got to make sure we got some good tires. You guys sell a lot of tires, don't you?
We sell tires, yes.
Yeah, lots of tires.
You got to remember, you just got a very small contact patch meeting the road. That's the only difference between all the weight in your car and what actually hits the road. So when it gets slick out, might have an issue. So when you're going out doing all your remotes and it's 20 degrees, so
driving to West Virginia doing the shows up here like I did earlier in the month. So they are telling us, they being the Farmer's Almanac, that we are supposed to have a colder and wetter than normal winter. So that would translate into snow. And so you guys sell Michelin. What other tire brands do you sell?
Goodyear.
Goodyear.
Yokohama's, all, just about anything you can name we sell.
Little ones, all the way up to the big old truck tires too, right? Whatever you need.
One thing we don't is Maypops. We try not to sell those. Not a very good brand.
I used to have those in my car in college. mine was called Magos. Any minutes. And once it did, so going down the interstate, I had a blowout. That's
So it was a Will Pop.
Oh, a Will Pop and a Mago. That's that West Virginia brand. It may go. May go any minute. So, but I had my 8-track player. I was listening to Leonard Skinner.
Yeah.
I heard something go. I thought it was a drum. 8-track player. No, it was my rear wheel. It may go. So, and I'm fishtailing down the interstate, but I got off and changed it and went on down the road. So.
Did you?
Yeah. The old Magos. We don't sell Magos
Leonard
here.
Skinner.
Yeah, Leonard Skinner. Met him one time.
Did you really?
The original Skinner, 74.
Before or after the accident?
Before.
Okay.
1974. They were on their Nothing Fancy tour in Charleston Civic Center, and I got backstage to meet the boys. They were
before
crazy.
Security got you, or?
Oh, no, I won a radio promotion. Meet the band.
Really?
They got a fight back on the. Ronnie Van Zant went up and shoved Alan Collins because he didn't play the song. This guy was a perfectionist. He said, "You didn't play the song right." They get in a shoving match. Of course, I'm in high school and I'm like standing there going, "Okay, this is probably." At first, I thought he was acting silly, but he was mad because they didn't. I mean, this guy wanted it right every time. That's why they're one of the greatest bands ever. But yeah, it's cool. It's all Skinner.
You think so?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
They could sort of come out with their own style.
No, I loved it. Yeah. 74.
Yeah.
Leonard Skinner. You know how they got their name? Pretty cool.
Yeah, the high school PE
Gym
coach.
Teacher.
Yeah.
Gym teacher in Jacksonville, Florida. His name was Leonard Skinner, Sikkner.
And they named their band after him.
To Leonard Skinner, yeah. And then he went into real estate. It's a really cool story. After he retired from school in Jacksonville, he went into real estate, and so they promoted him all over the place, Leonard Skinner Real Estate. So, but his real name is Leonard Skinner.
Yeah.
So, there you go.
I wonder why they picked him. I mean, that's kind of odd.
Oh, I do know that because they had long hair and they wouldn't dress out for PE, and they kept getting Fs. So they thought, we're just going to name our band after this guy. So pretty cool.
We'll show him.
Yeah. So I thought it was pretty cool story. So how did we get on Leonard Skinner in Middle
I don't know. You know, eight tracks.
There we go. Just one of those things.
You still have your 8 tracks?
Huh?
You still have your 8 tracks?
Sure do.
Okay.
Yeah, and cassettes.
Do you really?
Absolutely. I listen to cassettes all the time. Absolutely. Think I'm kidding? I have a cassette player at the house. I play them all the time. Thank you. I'm old school.
8-track too? Or you don't have a player?
8 tracks. I don't have any players, but I have them stacked up in a shoebox. Sure. 40. I even got 45s. You have 45s?
No.
You don't have any 45s?
No.
Huh. I got 45s. Red rubber ball with the circle. I Want to Hold Your Hand with the Beatles. Flip side is I Saw Her Standing There. That's worth some money too. A Beatles 45 on the Capitol label.
Yeah.
In mint condition. Worth some jack. I have a Beatles lunchbox.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
Did you take it to school?
Yeah, it was mine. First grade. Steve's here. Another ray of sunshine. We can talk in a minute. So, yeah, he broke it, put it in the DVD player. So, what was funny, it was interesting. 2 weekends ago, I went to the Apple Festival in Irwin, and this guy had all these old retro lunchboxes out there for sale. They were selling.
Were they real ones or retro?
No, they're real deals. They were selling for $100, $125 a piece, and selling them. I started to get this one for Scott. It was My Little Pony lunchbox. And they had one called Puffin Stuff. I thought,
HR Puffin Stuff.
H&R. I thought you knew that. I was going to get that.
I know that. Yeah.
Big Sexy.
Yeah.
But I didn't. So, and I was going to get you a G.I. Joe, But
there you go.
Yeah. Did you play G.I. Joe as you were a kid?
With the Kung Fu grip?
Yeah. There you go. Okay, let's go back to this before we take a break here, and we'll move on to get.
I remember the last 8-track that I bought and used to play was Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band.
Wow.
Yeah.
Picked up their CD the other day, Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band. So,
Did
was
you?
it Live Bullet, or was it just one of these?
Just one of Night Moves or one of those.
One of these regulars.
Yeah.
Cool. On 8-track.
Is he still around?
Oh yeah, he was he's on tour. He was just in Spartanburg last week. So,
Really? Would you go see him?
Absolutely. Just to say I was there.
Yeah.
You can go on YouTube and watch him. You can tell he lost his voice for about 3 years and got it back. He did some surgery on his vocal cords, so not quite the same, but he can still get out there and do it.
Yeah.
He's rocking pretty good. So, all right, everything but American Import Auto Repair. So we've talked about Steve. We talked about Leonard Skinner. We've talked about what else? Anything else? We'll talk about TARS.
Talked about Mark Rich.
Mark Richt, yeah.
Lunch boxes, HR Puffin stuff.
Yes. And tell me about oil changes before I go. Got to do oil.
It's good to have oil changes, and if you're going to get them, come here.
Yeah.
So we can change your oil. We do 29-point inspection. We'll take a look at any problems you have. Take a look at your air filter and take a look at your cabin air filter. We don't mention cabin air filters much, but very important to have because when you have that blowing out the vents at your eyes or your face, you can be blowing nasty stuff out there and pollen and everything else. So if you have issues with allergies and stuff like that, and you have that blowing right on your eyeballs, it's not good. So sometimes we'll see leaves, we'll see all kinds of stuff in there.
The cabin air filter is separate from the regular air filter. It's in behind the dashboard, is it not?
It's for the inside of your vehicle.
Yeah.
It's like the one you got at the house for your AC.
Yeah. A lot of folks don't realize you got to get that changed too.
You do.
Yeah.
You do.
So I've learned that from coming down here.
One of the nastier ones is we had somebody had a rat get in there and it was passed away, and
he was lodged in
the noise,
air filter?
the smell was.
Who got to do that one? Jake?
Actually, Patrick did.
Patrick?
So, yeah.
You're being serious?
Oh, yeah.
It was a mouse or a rat?
Yeah.
Either or.
We didn't pay that close of attention to him after that.
We didn't do any dental, yeah, 'cause it was.
There wasn't any dental records or anything we checked out.
Wasn't that little things that bend the rat around the neck?
Yeah.
Okay, on that
Tom or Jerry.
Let's just go ahead and take a break, and we'll come back because we've
get a grip.
So we picked on Scott and Misty and Rats
and Blaine,
Leonard Skinner, and I leave Blaine alone. Blaine's cool. And Scott's cool too, but he's just a big target.
He is.
Yeah,
he is literally
sexy. So he was Elvis in the Foggy Mountain Breakdown.
Melvis.
I saw pictures. So, and when I came out, I got the battery last week. I've heard him fuss for about 6 months that I won't request him friendship, and so now I've refriended him. I did it back there in front of him.
Why would you
I haven't
do
heard
that?
anything from him.
Why would you friend him?
Nothing. Why?
Yeah.
Because I got tired of hearing it. I said, okay, let's do it. So I friended him. I haven't heard one thing, not one nice thing sent to me about anything. So.
Does that hurt your feelings?
Can you see I'm a little tore up? Yeah, I'm a little stressed out. So.
Okay. So, Steve, what do you got going on?
We'll take a break. We'll be right back. We'll talk to Steve McCauley. We'll talk to David Strickland. We got a lot of state volleyball tournament talking about, and also some soccer to talk about, and some hockey and some more. We'll be right back right after this on the Tom Tower Sports Show.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at FCA.org.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do you do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here at the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400. Your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game, birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City.
Back with the Tom Diller Sports Show. We are live here for 24 more minutes. Tomorrow we'll be at Movement Mortgage. Again, Jeremy Livesey's brand new digs on, right down Beans Creek Road, right down from the Cracker Barrel. We'll be there tomorrow. Wednesday we'll be at Chick-fil-A. Thursday at Champion Chevrolet. And Friday we're going to be at a surprise spot, which I'm looking forward to. And it's looks like a brand new home. We're very excited about that. He's here with us. Look at him smiling real big.
I feel like I'm on the Jay Leno show or something. I'm on
the couch.
I'm on a couch. I'm like, yeah, Dave Letterman.
Johnny.
Wow,
Yeah,
Johnny Carson. Yeah, I think your
but,
are your audience they old enough to remember that? I guess.
Funny you said that. When I was at the bank the other day, I was talking about Doc Severinsen and Johnny Carson. The girl said,
Yeah.
I said, remember David Letterman? She said, yeah, kind of. She said, you know Jimmy Kimmel? I said, yeah, but do you remember Johnny Carson? She said, no.
Wow.
Isn't that scary?
Yeah.
That is scary.
He plowed the whole way. He paved the road for Jimmy Kimmel and
all
those guys. All those guys.
Jay
Well,
Leno,
it reminds
all
me
of
of the time I went to McDonald's about a year ago, and I was meeting one of our board members there, and he's an elderly gentleman. I'm not going to tell you how old he is, but he qualifies for the senior coffee. You know, have you ever gotten a senior coffee at McDonald's?
I don't drink coffee.
Okay, well, if you did, you would maybe qualify. I'm not sure, but it's 65 cents for a senior coffee. Well, he told me, he called me, said, I'm running late, go ahead and order me a coffee and an apple pie. He likes those deep fried apple pies. So I went up to the girl at the McDonald's, the little girl working behind the counter, and I said, I'd like a senior coffee and an apple pie for my friend. I said he's old enough. He's going to meet me here in a few minutes, and I said I'd like a regular coffee for me. She goes, you could probably have a senior coffee. You look old enough too. So I said okay, and I got a 65-cent coffee. I didn't care, but I didn't even ask her how old you have to be. But anyway, but I looked old enough, so that really made my day.
Yes.
Yeah.
She scored points.
Yeah.
We're here live again at American Import Auto Repair, home of the Frida Loaner Car program. Steve's got the event tomorrow night. It's the event that you look forward to all year long.
We look forward to it
thing.
being over. To be honest with you, no, it's a great event, but it's very time consuming. labor intensive, and people. You got to rely on a lot of people, which they're great, but we've got people coming as guests and table hosts, and we've got kids giving their testimonies, and you kind of have to reel them in. It's like herding cats and get them, to 2 to 3 minutes on their testimony. And we've got Coach Brittany Ezel. She's the women's head basketball coach at ETSU. She's going to be our keynote speaker. But we've got about 5 or 6 student testimonies, which is always a treat. People, not to take away from Coach, but every year people say, we've had you spoke there last year, and we've had people, we ask them, what's the best part of the band? They said, yeah, the speaker was great, but we really love those kids' testimonies. And so that's where, the rubber meets the road, so to speak, on our ministry, is the changed lives. And we ask people for support at the end, and we talk about return on investment. You go to any stockbroker or investment place, and they're going to talk about what return on investment, ROI, and ours is EROI, eternal return on investment, and that's up to the Lord. But we've got to plant those seeds, and we've got to get people the gospel message, the message of Christ and His Word, and get those Bibles out. And I see the Bible sitting here, which is great in a Christian business, sitting here on the coffee table, and we've given out almost 1,000 Bibles, probably more than 1,000 now, because we just got a shipment of New Testaments hot off the press that we've been giving out. It's a sports New Testament, and we can put those in the hands of kids for for about $3. Sports New Testament with they've got testimonies of athletes, college and pro athletes in there, and the kids really want to read about. And they've also got the full New Testament, Matthew through Revelation. It's just a great book. We've also got the full student athlete Bible, which is a great resource, and those we make those available to huddles and coaches. We have a coach's Bible. So really the Word of God is, as it states in Hebrews, it's alive and powerful, and it's not going to return void. And so we thank the Lord for that His Word is still going out. Still the #1 bestseller, isn't it, in the world?
Still the #1 bestseller in the world.
Yeah, and the main character is the man who hung on the cross, who you dedicate your show to. So
there's the verse. Read it again.
All right, I need my glasses to read this today. So
Proverbs.
Oh, I know this one. I don't even need my glasses. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will direct your paths.
Now, I spoke about this one time. I broke this verse down. Why does He say all your heart? Why He could have said your heart or some of your heart.
Right.
And in all your ways, not some of your ways,
right.
Your ways. Why was all included in there? Both of those reference points, and I think it's very, very important. All your heart, and all your ways.
All your heart, yeah. And there's another reference, and I think it's in Mark, where He says, "Love the Lord your God and with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength." It's like 4-dimensional, and because God knows how distracted we can get so easily. And if we have one little corner of our heart, not our literal heart that beats, but our inner man, our inner person, if we have one little area of that we don't give up to Him, then that means we haven't given it up. It's either all His or it's and so I think it's really really a good verse. That was my life verse. My grandfather used to drill that into me when I was a little kid. He and I talk about him sometimes when I talk to high schoolers and middle schoolers and college kids about He will make your path straight. He will direct your path. He will keep you from getting off on a bad exit or hitting the guardrail or running into the ditch, or and you trust. The first word is trust in that verse, trust. And you're right, all your heart, and He will make your way, and the peace of God that passes understanding. Life is full of turmoil, and one of our tenets, I guess you might want to call it, at our church, or one of our life applications, is to struggle well. We're all struggling, right? But we struggle well, and the only way to struggle well is with Christ and His Word, and that guide. And I talk about the 2 windshield wipers when I talk to kids. I got them at a junkyard. They're 2 real windshield wipers off a car, and I just keep them in the trunk of the car. And I'll talk about those. Those 2 wipers are God's Word and prayer. You need both of those wipers to keep the stuff of life off your windshield so you can see. And that verse right there, Proverbs 3, 5, and 6, is a good life verse of that. And so it's a good thing.
We're talking to Steve McCauley. Obviously, see on the screen tomorrow night is the banquet. You can still get tickets. You've got a pretty good crowd coming, don't you?
Yeah. We have 30 tables of 8, so we have about 240 people coming. If people want to come last minute, that's fine. Just let us know. We're making name tags today. Probably by the end of the day today, we'll be printing name tags, and they'll have a name, the guest name, and their table number on the name tag. So you go in and you find your table. It's a buffet dinner. It's going to be a great program, 6:30 to 8:30, and we'll have some great testimonies and celebrate what God's doing through FCA. And by the way, you really don't need. You said tickets. There's no cost to come to this. It's all paid for up front by our generous sponsors. But we do need reservations. We do need RSVPs because we need to know who else is coming. So they can. People can call. They can call me right now at 423-306-4889, or you can find us on Facebook at FCA Tri-Cities. That's our web address is fcatricities.org. Facebook is Fellowship of Christian Athletes Tri-Cities. It's all the person who set up our Facebook, which is great, but it's the long version, Fellowship of Christian Athletes. So you got to be a good speller there, but if you do a search for it, but fcatricities.org, that's our local website. People can, our cell phone numbers are on there, our email address, everything but our pictures, which is a good thing, but is on there. But people can contact us, but we probably need to know today by probably 3 o'clock today if people are coming, just so we can get a name tag and make sure they have a seat. But yeah, there's no cost to come, but we will ask for support. It's for our annual fund, and so we will ask people at the end of the dinner to step up with a commitment, a pledge, a gift. So bring your checkbooks, and definitely you bring your checkbook.
We love having him on the show all the time. That's our way of giving back, to have him. We went and did the golf tournament, and we've been around this guy all year long. And so he had us at a restaurant in Elizabethton. We like promoting FCA wherever he's at and whatever he's doing. You got about 2 minutes left here. Hit real quick. The Fields of Faith. We've been to Science Hill and East Tennessee State, been all over the place.
Yeah.
I will say this. Everybody who talks about this guy says, look, this guy's out there. It's not like he's sitting on his laurels. He's busting his tail to get the word out and get money raised for Bibles to get in these schools and talk to these kids. So tell us real quick about a couple of events you've had recently.
One of the amazing things about FCA, any campus ministry, but FCA especially, is finding co-laborers, and we call them character coaches, people that want to, and we have huddle coaches at the schools. But a character coach is someone who comes alongside of FCA, and we do background checks on them. They give us their testimony and everything. It's called a ministry leader application. But they come alongside of us, and we've got character coaches at Crockett, at Science Hill, at Happy Valley, at ETSU. We've got character coaches placed all over at different schools. And the beautiful thing is, between the student-athlete leaders, the coaches and the character coaches, and parents and church support, they pulled off these great Fields of Faith events. And these Fields of Faith events, there's over 500 of them nationwide. On October 11th, which was last Wednesday, that was the official day, but there's other ones that happen on other days. Grandview, right down the road from here, had theirs a week before October 11th. Johnson County High School will have theirs this Wednesday, the 18th. So you can have them whenever you want them, but the national day, kind of like See You at the Pole, the day of Fields of Faith is the second Wednesday in October every year. And it was started about 12 years ago by a coach in Oklahoma that just thought, he was reading through the Old Testament. He came across the verse in Chronicles about Josiah, an 8-year-old king, who by the time he was 16, he had been king 8 years. He's 16, which is what our average age of our athletes are in our ministry. And he looked out over Israel as king, and he said, we've gotten away from God. And the way he brought the people back to God is he got those scrolls. He dusted them off, literally, rolled them out, and read the word and gave testimony about God's goodness. And so those two things, God's word and testimony, and that's what Fields of Faith is. It's coming together around a field, whether it's a gymnasium, a baseball field, a football field, a soccer field, a parking lot, it doesn't matter. Come together at a school, and it's purposely done on Wednesday night, not to pull people away from church, but to get churches involved one time a year, and then have them take the theme back to their church. But we had 275 at Happy Valley last week. We had at Grandview 2 weeks ago, we had probably that many or more, and then at Science Hill we probably, I don't know if they got an official count, but it was it would have been over 400 at Science Hill. Amazing. Right on the field, they had a stage set up, great speakers, great. They read God's Word, they give testimony, they have music. Some of them have food. Johnson County will have some food. They'll have pizza up there. But it's a great draw, and we'll probably expect Johnson County on Wednesday. I'm guessing if it's like last couple of years, they'll have over 100 people there easily, 150. And then Hampton High School's doing one at the end of the month. They're doing one I think it's the 25th, the last Wednesday of the month at Hampton High School. And we've been praying for an FCA huddle to be strengthened there for years because our huddle sponsor moved away a few years ago, and we've got a new coach, baseball coach there, Nick Perkins, great guy. And we've got, last time I went to Hampton's FCA, they had 63 kids in their FCA on Friday after school, and they had to meet in the cafeteria. They had to move from the library to the cafeteria. That's awesome. And he does a thing where he gives, they draw a number as they register, and he gives them a Dr. Enough. Yeah, that's their prize. They get a Dr. and he has 2 Dr. Enoughs, and he gives 2 away. And so I'm thinking about maybe going to see Dr. Enough and getting a case, and bringing it to them, and so everybody can have one, because that'd be a neat way to thank them. But that's really cool. Hampton High School and Unaka, we got a huddle going at Unaka again, and Cloudland. So we've got some really good things going on, and we're real involved at Elizabethton. You had Coach Witten on last week, and Coach Witten, he brings the whole football team to FCA on Friday afternoons, and his brother was in town last week. He was at the football game, and I was hoping he'd come to FCA. I was at T.A. Duggar, so I wasn't able to get over there. I had to pick my son up at T.A. Duggar, but that'd be a neat thing if he just showed up one time and gave a little testimony at FCA. Those kids, that'd be powerful for those kids.
I was at the game Friday night, and halftime you go back and where Elizabethton goes, it's kind of an outside locker room per se, and it's a little bit dark, and so I'm standing, this guy comes up to me and says, "Hi, I'm Jason Witten." I said,
yeah, and you looked up when you said it.
Well,
yeah.
I had no idea the guy was in town.
Yeah, he's a big old boy.
But what was funny was, after the meetings were over and going back out to get ready for the second half, of course, all these little guys line up and go, "Jason." So these kids, these little guys, we're talking grade school. Jason had a Sharpie on him because he gets asked for autographs all the time. We understand that. But these little guys were taking their shoes off. He was signing the side of their shoes with a Sharpie. So all these little guys running around with barefooted going, "Sign my shoes."
Wow,
so
that's
stopped,
great.
And here's the best thing about what I saw. Jason Witten stopped and signed every kid's, whoever wanted an autograph, Jason Witten stopped and signed it, which tells me a lot about this guy.
Yeah.
The National Football League or the NCAA, one of the two, I can't remember which one did it, but they've set up a humanitarian award in honor of Jason Witten because of his involvement in the community. Saw over the weekend where he gave a big chunk of change to start to work with some hospitals in Knoxville to start a domestic violence center, quote unquote. This guy's the real deal. So very humble.
Yeah.
But
good family. Great.
All 3 Witten boys are involved in the FCA.
They sure are. Yeah. I got my shoes autographed, but they were black shoes, so they can't read it.
I got my boot. I got the bottom of my shoe.
Bottom like Andy and in the Toy Story movie.
Everybody said, "Why is he signing the bottom of your boot?" I said, "I don't know, because I guess I'm crazy." So.
Yeah, I'm thinking about starting a band named Tom Taylor Band. What do you think?
House.
Yeah. But I'll spell it, different. I'll try and.
Well, the little boy down the street, I used to pick on him growing up. He couldn't say Taylor. He would say T-E-L-L-E-R. I said, "I hate you, Tom Taylor."
Tom Taylor. Now you're Tom Teller.
Tom Taylor.
Yeah, that's
Tom
who you are now.
Yeah. So, all right, before I let you go, how many schools are you involved in?
About 40. Yeah,
schools.
About 30. We're in about 35 schools, and then we have about 5 community huddles, ministries. Yeah.
Love working with this guy. I'm telling you, he gets it done. He and his lovely bride, and they work very, very hard, and proof's in the pudding, and there'll be lots of jewels in his crown when he gets to heaven, because he's getting these Bibles out in the schools and these huddle groups and all the different things to do under the umbrella of FCA to get folks to make an eternal decision. Just since last time you were on was about 3 or 4 weeks ago, we've had earthquakes. We've had another hurricane that had come and gone. Obviously, we had the mass shooting in Las Vegas.
And fires in California.
Yeah. So this is not.
And my mother-in-law visit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had
Where
that
does that
rank? No, you're taking that wrong. She's from California, so that's why.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where my mind went there. Your mind went disaster.
Train wreck.
Yeah.
Well, you said fires, and then you said my mother-in-law came. I thought, where does that rank? But she's a good lady.
She's.
I met your mama too.
Yeah.
Met her at Chick-fil-A.
Yeah. And I'll give a shout out to her. I don't know if she's watching. Probably not, because I'll get her on Facebook. I'll get her watching. But she just had surgery, and thank God that she came through that well at her age and everything. And she's doing good. She's recovering a week. It was last Wednesday, so it was pretty major surgery. So she's doing well.
Tomorrow night.
So
big night.
Tomorrow night's a big night. Thanks for your prayers and your support. Appreciate it. I hopefully see you there, buddy.
Love this guy.
All right, man. Love
Quick
you
break.
too.
We'll come right back. We'll get Big Sexy on to wrap this thing up. Our buddy Scott Hyatt right here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, live at American Import Auto Repair.
At American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the things that owner Tim Smith is most proud of is their hard-earned certifications.
We are an ASE Blue Seal shop, which is important because what it tells the customer is we care enough to get certified, not in one certain area of cars. You have to be certified in 8 different certifications, and 8 different tests you have to take, and you have to be updated on them yearly to make sure that you're up to date. We not only have one of those, we have 3 ASE Master Technicians here with the ratio. It goes into a ratio, and we're a Blue Seal shop, so it tells you that we care about training and we care about knowing about your car. We want to help fix it right.
American Import Auto Repair, West Market Street, Johnson City, home of the free loaner car program. Open 6 days a week. Call today, 913-3111.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole with Bays Mountain Park. There's something for everyone at Bays Mountain Park. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or simply looking to get away and relax, Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport, Tennessee is the perfect destination. For only $4 per vehicle, enjoy 3,500 acres of breathtaking scenery, featuring 40 miles of hiking trails, wildlife habitat, one of the Southeast's premier planetariums, and much, much more. For more information, please visit www.baysmountain.com or call us at 423-229-9447. Bays Mountain Park, one of the Tri-City's best places for learning, leisure, and recreation.
If you're catching some waves or just playing in the yard, it is important to protect yourself. You may not feel the sun's heat, but UV rays can still damage your skin even in cloudy weather. Blue Lizard Sunscreen, recommended by pharmacists and dermatologists nationwide. Our SPF 30-plus formulations use only the highest quality ingredients for broad-spectrum protection. As a reminder to protect yourself, our bottle turns blue when UV light is present. Blue Lizard, we've got you covered.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, there is our buddy, Big Sexy Scott Hyatt. Let me get out of the way so you can see him. Hello, Bubba. How you doing?
I'm doing average today.
You're going. You're hanging. You're here, and you're getting after it. So, tell me about before we get out of here, the Super Saver Maintenance Club. We are 69 days away from Christmas, and so
you had to bring that up.
Yeah, I know. People are like, "Shut up! It's too close. You make me nervous."
Hey, you know what's also cool about Christmas, and I'm sure Tim talked about our Bosch program. But we have a lot of folks that come in that do not want to spend their Christmas money, and we have a financing program. I went left field on you, but I'm sorry.
That's good. But we didn't talk about Christmas much. Go ahead.
Well,
good.
Christmas, if somebody's coming in there having a repair and it's over $300, Bosch offers 3 months interest free. I can't say same as cash. Ding, yeah.
There you go. That's good.
And saves your money until you get your tax dollars from your refund if you get one, and that's what a lot of folks do. We do a bunch of them during November and December, and you know, if somebody's got an $800 repair, they can break it up into 6 payments, and hey, they can still buy a little Johnny a train and be all right.
That's really a great point. Go ahead and say it again. Tell us about Bosch
offers a 6 months interest free for $301 or $300 and above. You know, you break it up into 6 payments, and yes, you pay 0 interest. I said 0. Now, if you cure it, they go back to day one, and it's high like any other credit card, which I don't encourage credit cards, but that's the only one because it gives you 6 months. Get your stinking tax return, pay that thing off, and it's 0.
Can't beat it.
Borrow somebody else $1, but you. So super saver.
All right, good thing. Now, cooler weather's coming. Cooler weather's here. Colder weather's coming, obviously.
Right.
We always talk about oil changes. It's bad to drive in the heat.
Right.
With dirty oil, and it's bad to drive in cool weather and cold weather with dirty oil. Tell me why.
Well, it's not good on the vehicle. Newer vehicles, especially, you get into the newer stuff, and this is a common problem I see. The old adage when I started out years ago, everybody thought it was 10W30, 20W50, or go thicker, and it's better. It's not better. You know, a lot of cars nowadays have a very low tolerance. You know, I had a guy come in the other day with a BMW, and he's putting 20W50, which is like something you'd put in an old wore-out truck. It's important because the oil's too thick, or if there's not the right oil, the viscosity's wrong, it can hurt new technology in vehicles. A lot of vehicles are GDI, which is direct injection. You know, if oil's not right, it causes problems. I mean, it's just, you know, 30 years ago you could do goofy stuff like that. You can't do it now. I mean, you can tear stuff up in a big way.
That's why changing oil yourself, especially in these new cars, not the thing you want to do. Bring it in here and let them change it. Because once you come in here, you put it on the computer, and you can go back every time and reference my car, and you'll know track record, right?
And we do Carfax, which a lot of shops, well, I won't say a lot. Your upper-end shops will report to Carfax. Now, where that's important is you go to sell the car, and you look back, and, you know, you want to know, if you go to Cooter Bob Joe, well, God bless him, Cooter Bob Joe can change your oil, but if he doesn't put the right oil in the right filter, and he shortcuts it, then, you know, I have a way to go back and figure out what you've done with Carfax.
There you go. Cooter Bob.
Cooter Bob Joe. I use that a lot.
Don't let Cooter Bob Joe do your vehicle. Let them bring it down here to American Import and Auto Repair because they have the blue seal of excellence on the door. How many of those gentlemen you have here now? 3?
Yes, 3 ASC master technicians. We got some first string guys. Sports World, hey, All Stars, brother.
There you go.
Ding.
They're good. They're all conference, all state, all American.
You want to talk about Tennessee football? No, we'll let that go. No, let's let that go.
There isn't Tennessee football as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, what
it's like Pop Warner down there.
They said that this guy from David Crockett was going to get in there and do it.
Oh.
Sensible. We'll leave that alone too. Anyway,
let's let that go.
All right, I love you, Tom.
Tell me about the Super Saver Maintenance Club, would you please?
Super Saver Maintenance is a $99 coupon card, and you've got $519 worth of savings. It will definitely pay for itself. 4 free oil changes, 2 with rotations, a free alignment. If you simply do the stinking oil change and a tire, or the oil change, tire rotation, alignment, everything else is gravy. 3 free oil changes, $30 off $300. Buy one get one wiper blade. I've never had anybody come in here and say this is just not a good deal. I've had one person, I give him his money back, and it's because he went in the military and he moved, but he liked it after that point. So I mean, I've never had anybody say this is a terrible value. It's just not good.
Oh no, it's a great value. And going into the holidays, I know it's October. We're ways off, but a lot of folks use this for stocking stuff.
Oh yeah, it's a great Christmas gift. You give that to little Johnny and tell little Johnny to come get his car serviced.
There you go. Or Susie.
Or Susie.
There you go. So I know duty. Oh, Blaine's got it. I was going to say duty calls, but maintenance, and this can be shared with multiple vehicles.
Yes.
And it's worth good for 14 months from the date of purchase. If you get one day this week, that would put you in December of 2018.
Right.
That's hard to believe.
It's hard math. Did you see that?
Yeah. I see.
Like redneck algebra or something right there. That's going to have to take my shoes off.
Ernest T. Bass, thank you, Mrs. Wiley. So there you go.
I thought we was going to have to start counting items or something here for a minute.
Yeah. What's going on in Lamplight Theater?
Lamplight Theater, oh man, it's really cool. They're having the Halloween play. It's called and I just gapped out. You ever read the Fox's Book of Martyrs? Talking about different martyrs from Stephen to. It's a really cool Halloween alternative. I'd recommend taking anybody down there to it. It's PG-13. It's pretty in your face. It's pretty reality.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we live in a pretty rotten world, and Lord's going to come back
soon.
And but it's Fox's Book of Martyrs. It's based on that, and they put it out there. And there's also some third party. There's some characters that are today, but they use that as a part of their. I encourage it. I know I'm just babbling, but I don't know how to describe it. It's one of those things. Once you see it and you step back away from it, it's like, wow, this is awesome.
Well, I watched the Bible last week, the series Roman Downey put out.
Yes.
Not too long ago, and I watched the crucifixion part of it. And I'd never seen it portrayed like this. At one point, they threw him down on the ground right before they nailed him to the cross, and they made him crawl to the cross. And I'm thinking, he did that for me.
Amen.
Oh, no, and I don't, and I can't go tell somebody about him on this show, wherever, after what he did for me, and did it willingly.
Well, Billy Wayne says it several times at the end of the show. He's talking. He says, I have people stand up and say, I'll be a martyr for Christ. Well, don't worry about dying for him. Why don't you try to live for him right now? Do you reflect Jesus? Do you show Jesus in your faith? Are you the reason somebody wants to go to heaven? Pretty strong. That's
strong.
Dang, that's what I'm talking about. You're the man.
You're awesome, man. Talk to you soon. Hope you get feeling better.
I'm feeling pretty rough, man. I don't know. I might have to go lay somewhere. My ears are burning, and that's not from not washing. That's just
lay across Tim's desk. He'll let you get your little R&R.
You think you give me a back rub? All right, I'll leave on that.
All right, here we go. We're going to wrap this thing up, but we're going to tell you about the state volleyball tournament coming up again tomorrow. They've got them rolling in Murfreesboro, Middle Tennessee State. Tennessee High will take on Siegel High School at 3 o'clock tomorrow in AAA. In AA, Sullivan South, the Lady Rebels, 10:30 tomorrow morning, will take on East Hamilton of the AA division. In Single A, the South Green Lady Rebels taking on Watertown tomorrow in the opening round of the TSSAA State Volleyball Tournaments. Again, all going on in Middle Tennessee State and Murfreesboro. Also, the regional soccer, we ran out of time with Coach Strickland, and we'll try and get him on tomorrow because they play tomorrow night. Science Hill hosting Morristown West tomorrow in the AAA, and Dobbins Minute goes to Bearden tomorrow night, and those winners will play for the championship on Thursday with a right to go on to the state soccer tournament next week in Middle Tennessee. The Big 11 Conference Cross Country Championship comes up on Thursday of this week as well. So lots going on. Big week of high school football. We'll tell you more about that. Let me run them down for you real quick before we get out of here. We have Thursday night, Unaka at Hampton. Friday night, Cherokee at Tennessee High. Claiborne at Cumberland Gap. Cloudland at Johnson County. Crockett and Boone of the Musket Ball at Daniel Boone. They're meeting tonight. They're going to meet at Crockett. They're going to decide whether the players are going to vote whether to go forward with the season or just to shut the season down. I hope they go on with the season, because if they don't, I promise you they're going to regret it. When you're in high school, you get 3 or 4 years to do everything you can in high school, and then you have to get on with the game of life. So it'd be really tough to look back, I think, for the seniors in particular on this football program and say, we just quit the season. I understand what's going on down there at Crockett, but for my money, I hope they vote to continue the program and finish out the season. Cotton County, Morristown East, Granger at Greenville, Happy Valley at West Green Friday night, Hardin Valley at Bearden, Science Hill hosting Jefferson County, Jellicoe at Cosby, Morristown West at Dobbins Minute, Sullivan Central at Union County, Sullivan North will be at Sullivan East, Sullivan South will be at Elizabeth, and that is huge on Friday night. Twin Springs crossing the state line playing in Tennessee at North Green, Chuckey Oak, Farragut, South Green, Unicoi County, and Volunteer have the week off. In Virginia on Friday night, Abington at Ridgeview, Castlewood at J.I. Burton, Eastside at Johowie, Gate City at John Battle, Lehigh at Wise Central, Rye Cove hosting Twin Valley and Union, and Thomas Walker have the night off. Big thanks to our guest today, Aaron Ferguson, live with us from Huntington, West Virginia, talking college football. He knows all about it. 2-time All-American on the National Championship Marshall football team. Appreciate him from Kingsport, Tennessee. Now lives in Huntington. Mike Hedrick, NASCAR fans reporter, thanks to you. Steve McCauley, Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Also Tim Smith, the owner here at American Import and Auto Repair. And also, of course, we just heard from Big Sexy Scott Hyatt. We're out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. Rejoining you tomorrow at Movement Mortgage in Boones Creek. Our buddy Jeremy Livesey, brand new location, brand new company started up, and it is going great guns with a brand new office, and literally, so we'll be there tomorrow. Wednesday at Chick-fil-A, Thursday at Champion Chevrolet, and Friday we got a surprise spot. So we'll tell you all about that. But again, we're out of here. Again, American Import Auto Repair, 913-3111. Again, the home of the free loaner car program. They have local shuttle service to and fro. If you need to drop your vehicle off, they can shuttle you locally to home or to work. And also, they have loaner car program where if you are going to have your vehicle in here for a couple of days or overnight or whatever, they can loan you a car to drive. 4 or 5 cars they have under the free loaner car program. So there is a reason why they're the number one auto repair shop in America. So says Federated Auto Parts, because of their great customer service. 913-3111 is the number to call. So I'll greet you tomorrow at 11 o'clock from Movement Mortgage in Boones Creek. This is Tom Taylor telling you, as always, as we wrap up show number 614, win or lose, be a good sport. So long, everybody.